As I reflect on my time as an artist in residency at Poinciana Paper Press in Nassau, the Bahamas, through the Lucayan Archipelago residency, I get to relive the many serendipities that this trip was for me as an artist. I was first introduced to my fellow artist in residency, Jocmarys, in a Zoom call where we briefly introduced each other and got to talk a little bit about our artistic practices and backgrounds. Even from this first meeting, we could see that we had some experiences in common, and that made me even more excited about the adventure that we were about to take on together. As we landed in Nassau, we were introduced to the space of Poinciana Paper Press Studio, which is a fully equipped book art studio, and which was incredible for me because I had access to bookbinding, papermaking, and letterpress equipment. Sonia Farmer, who is a Bahamian visual artist and writer and the owner of Poinciana Paper Press, prepared a complete schedule for us to get to know Nassau. The schedule was packed with cultural and artistic-based projects. As I started my first week at the studio, I decided to get inspired by some materials I brought from Puerto Rico to start producing work. And since we just arrived in the Bahamas, Arik and I agreed on a possible schedule for this project in collaboration, leaving the first 3 weeks for us to focus on personal projects and take in all the fun and inspiring sights that we were seeing in Nassau. I didn't realize at first, but our collaboration started by us living together and getting to know each other. Some aspects of our time at home, doing things like cooking, made it to the final book project we created. After a few weeks, we had our scheduled meeting to talk about our collaboration, and we agreed that visiting the depths of the primeval forest, which is part of the national parks of the Bahamas, was an experience worth reflecting on for our collaboration, and because we both love our time there. From my end, I was totally immersed in this place, and as I was walking, it felt like walking in a loop because of the shape of the path we follow. The forest was dense, green, wet, and visually stimulating. What stood out the most from our trips in the Bahamas, after visiting many spots, was the constant mention of the gum elemi tree and the poison ivy. I couldn't stop taking pictures of this tree, and I couldn't stop making sure I didn't touch the poison ivy either. As Ark and I started connecting thoughts for our project, in my mind I was already sure about the kind of structure I wanted to create for this book. I decided on a dos-a-dos book structure to mimic that loop feeling I had when going to the forest. I also wanted the book to be thinner in width and taller to express the tallness and density of the forest. Art started connecting thoughts and including the forest in their writing. We even got to discuss their writing and my ideas for the book with Sonia Farmer, which felt like being in school again because we were both workshopping the writing and ideas for the project. This aspect of the residency was the most valuable for me, to have someone knowledgeable in book arts and in writing to mentor us when we needed to. We discussed the layout and structure of Ark's writing and the relationship to the book structure I proposed. I decided on materials for the book covers and end sheets based on my experience as a book artist, but taking in consideration our goal for the book. I had the idea of dyeing the end papers with avocado pits and skins because we had produced so many of those while cooking and eating together at home. It felt only natural to bring this aspect to the book as it was part of our living experience together. Sonia and Ari got to help me with the making of the handmade paper for the covers of the book, and I decided to incorporate the avocado dye, which varies in shades similar to the colors of the gum tree, and Ari decided to incorporate in the writing one prayer that I brought into conversation when we were needing to find something we have lost. This prayer was passed down through oral tradition from my grandmother to me and somehow aligned with Ark's writing and contribution to this project.